So welcome everyone to our fifth and final day of Bauman Winter Wellness Week. It's just been a really wonderful, fruitful week of workshops and activities, and we're so excited that you've all been joining us. And we are kicking off our final day with Dr. Ed Bauman, who will be leading us through a mindful meditation. Dr. B, do you want to share a little bit about yourself, and then I'll let you take it away?
Yeah, sure. I've been a meditator now for over 50 years. And I don't do it every day, and I don't formally sit for a regular period of time, but I do meditate in the morning, and I do meditate before bed, and I often meditate in the middle of the day. And it's a time of quietness and reflection and settling down. So I think it's really great to know how to meditate. It's a skill, and it improves with practice. And then the mindfulness aspect, as I learned it, is three parts. And the first part is awareness of the moment. So that's how we settle in quietness, but we can be moving and be mindful too. So we don't have to be still. It's just, here we are, we're thinking of right now, and we're mindful and noting our sensations and our feelings, our environment, and watching our thoughts, but not focusing on them too heavily. So that's the first part, is just awareness of the moment. The second is cultivating a non-judgmental state of mind. And that's a challenge for all of us. And the judgments, it's funny, where did all these judgments come from? Is it from our parents, our grandparents, the culture, the history? Yeah, you know, it's like good and bad, the inner critic we've talked about in some of our classes. So being non-judgmental is really being open and accepting. And then the third part, which is really the winner with mindfulness, is bringing loving kindness to the moment and to each situation, to ourselves, and loving kindness to our surroundings, and loving kindness to those that we think about. Because in meditation, we can reflect upon people, we can bless people, we can thank people, we can honor people. So that's the mindfulness, is the threefold practice of awareness, no judgment, and loving kindness, which has a Buddhist origin, but it's been adapted to current life. It's part of many different systems. And then meditation is familiar to all practices, all spiritual disciplines. And I think people just instinctively meditate when they sit quietly. We discussed this. Some people are happy outdoors in nature where there's not a lot of noise in people. And it's a time of contemplation and reflection. And it often starts with focusing on the breath. Because the breath is where the chi is. The breath is what brings us life, and breathing in energy and breathing out stress. breathing in oxygen, breathing out carbon dioxide, and just being in that kind of natural rhythmic motion of peacefulness, quietness, centeredness, breath, and awareness. And that's a good meditation. It's fine to just sit quietly or move quietly, walk quietly, peacefully, bringing the attention inward. So I think the initial phase of it is to look within and locate a center of connectivity between our body, mind, and soul, between our heart and our body and our higher being. And so to be able to do that is to call it in, really. It's like, just, okay, I want to listen to my guidance. I'm calling it forward. And I want to be centered in my heart and grounded in my belly and seated and rooted with the earth. So there is a sense of embodied presence with meditation. This type of idea is not to fly out of the body and go away. It's not to put on a light show. It's not to experience phenomenon. It's just to sort of enjoy presence in space. And occasionally there's plenty of racket around us. It's not always a quiet space, But this ability to call our attention inward, to come home to ourselves, to find a center of wellness within our body, within our heart, within our mind, within our soul, and with nature. So as we first locate ourselves, then we can see that we're part of life that's going on around us. And we can choose to take our attention away from politics, take our attention away from transactions and all that stuff, and not to have a shopping list in our mind while we're taking some time for ourselves. And sometimes I will give myself a time period. I'll say, I want to sit or meditate for 5 minutes. And for that, it means I turn off my phone. Because the phone is where I get distracted. I go on the phone, maybe I got an email or a text. But no, I'm turning off my phone. The world's going to be there when I'm done meditating. And then sometimes I go, no, I'm going to meditate for 10, 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour. I was into an hour meditative practice in my youth when I was, in that mode, but an hour seems like a long time for me now. But it's still about the ability to really tune in and to center and to ground, and then to also embrace the natural order and the spiritual order. So we did a mindful meditation class the other day, and I shared a song that was derived from Thich Nhat Hanh, who's a Vietnamese meditation teacher who came to the West. And I often share this song when I'm leading a group because it creates a group activity. Danusha said, river like the song. The song caught hold of a river, and singing is good. And when I meditate, I sing sometimes because otherwise I can get all over the place, which I'm trying to come back. So I'm going to share the song. It's a call and response. And then I'm going to share some wisdom from one of my earlier meditation teachers, a man named Chogyam Trungpa Rinpoche, who was kind of a crazy man, but I knew him, I met him, I sat with him. He came to Boulder, Colorado, 1973. I met him in 73. He took a traditional Buddhist, couple of Tibetan Buddhist teachings, and he really adapted them to Western life. He wrote a book called Meditation and Action that I just find absolutely terrific. Just absolutely lucidly clear. And what's amusing about Chogyam Rinpoche was he did not live a particularly saintly life. It was quite the opposite. And he did not live very long. He passed away short of 40. But he had quite an impact. And when he was in his teaching practice, he brought a lot of clarity. And I'll share a couple of his words as we go through the sitting. I validate the teachings of all spiritual teachers who are looking to support self-development and world transformation. So it's an eclectic array of people in my university. So here we go with the song. If you would unmute yourself, sing a verse back. Then we'll go into a little bit of a silent phase, and periodically I'll share some teachings from Rinpoche. Breathing in.
Breathing in.
Breathing out.
Breathing out.
Breathing in.
Breathing in.
Breathing out.
Breathing out.
I am blooming.
I am blooming
As a flower.
as a flower.
I am fresh.
I am fresh
As the dew.
as the dew.
I am solid.
I am solid
As a mountain.
as a mountain.
I am firm.
I am firm
As the earth.
as the earth.
I am free.
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 Breathing in.
Breathing in.
Breathing out.
Breathing out.
Breathing in.
Breathing in.
Breathing out.
Breathing out.
I am water.
I am water.
Reflecting.
Reflecting.
What is real?
What is real?
What is true?
What
What is true?
And I feel
And I feel
there is space
there is space
all around me,
all around me,
deep within me.
deep within me.
I am free.
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 We are 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 free.
All be 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 free.
Hope you don't mind we wandered over here.
No worries. I'm going to share a couple of phrases from Chogyam Rinpoche, and then I'll have another silent period. We're always in transition. If you can just relax with that, you have no problem. We're always in transition. If you can just relax with that, you have no problem. Mindfulness does not mean pushing oneself towards something or hanging on to something. It means allowing oneself to be there in the very moment of what is happening in the living process, and then letting go. Mindfulness does not mean pushing oneself towards something or hanging on to something. It means allowing oneself to be there in the very moment of what is happening in the living process, and then letting go. Artistic vision comes from a mind clear enough to fall in love with what we see. Artistic vision comes from a mind clear enough to fall in love with what we see. Meditation practice is a way of making friends with ourselves. Whether we are worthy or unworthy, that's not the point. It's developing a friendly attitude to ourselves, accepting the hidden neurosis coming through. Meditation practice is a way of making friends with ourselves. Whether we are worthy or unworthy, that's not the point. It's developing a friendly attitude to ourselves, accepting the hidden neurosis that comes through. Meditation should not be regarded as a learning process. It should be regarded as an experiencing process. You should not try to learn from meditation, but try to feel it. Meditation is an act of non-duality. The technique you are using should not be separate from you. It is you. You are the technique. Meditator and meditation are one. We must be willing to be completely ordinary people, which means accepting ourselves as we are without trying to become greater, purer, more spiritual, more insightful. If we can accept our imperfections as they are, quite ordinarily, then we can use them as a part of the path. But if we try to get rid of our imperfections, then they will be enemies, obstacles on the road to our self-improvement. We must be willing to be completely ordinary people, which means accepting ourselves as we are without trying to become greater, purer, more spiritual, more insightful. If we can accept our imperfections as they are, quite ordinarily, then we can use them as part of the path. But if we try to get rid of our imperfections, then they will be enemies, obstacles on the road to our self-improvement. Real fearlessness is the product of tenderness. It comes from letting the world tickle your heart, your raw and beautiful heart. You are willing to open up without resistance or shyness and face the world. You're willing to share your heart with others. Real fearlessness is the product of tenderness. It comes from letting the world tickle your heart, your raw and beautiful heart. You're willing to open up without resistance or shyness and face the world. You're willing to share your heart with others. To be a spiritual warrior, one must have a broken heart. Without a broken heart and the sense of tenderness and vulnerability, your warriorship is untrustworthy. To be a spiritual warrior, one must have a broken heart. Without a broken heart, the sense of tenderness and vulnerability, your warriorship is untrustworthy. Ultimately, that is the definition of bravery, not being afraid of yourself. Ultimately, that is the definition of bravery, not being afraid of yourself. We cannot change the way the world is, but by opening ourselves to the world as it is, we may find that gentleness, decency, and bravery are available, not only to us, but to all human beings. We cannot change the way the world is, but by opening ourselves to the world as it is, we may find that gentleness, decency, and bravery are available, not only to us, but to all human beings. In the garden of gentle sanity, may you be bombarded by coconuts of wakefulness. In the garden of gentle sanity, may you be bombarded by coconuts of wakefulness. It's possible to be completely enlightened, except with your family. In the garden, it's possible to be completely enlightened, except with your family. When human beings lose their connection to nature, to heaven, to earth, they do not know how to nurture their environment or how to rule their world, which is saying the same thing. Human beings destroy their ecology while they destroy one another. From that perspective, healing our society goes hand in hand with healing our personal, elemental connection with the phenomenal world. Good and bad, happy and sad. All thoughts vanish into emptiness, like the imprint of a bird in the sky. Good and bad, happy and sad, all thoughts vanish into emptiness, like the imprint of a bird in the sky. When you relate to thoughts obsessively, you're actually feeding them, because thoughts need your attention to survive. Once you begin to pay attention to them and categorize them, they become very powerful. You're feeding them energy because you're not seeing them as simple phenomena. If one tries to quiet them down, that's another way of feeding them. When you relate to thoughts obsessively, you're actually feeding them because thoughts need your attention to survive. Once you begin to pay attention to them and categorize them, then they become very powerful. You're feeding them energy because you're not seeing them as simple phenomena. If one tries to quiet them down, that is another way of feeding them. If you're telling the truth, then you can speak gently and your words have power. If you're telling the truth, then you can speak gently and your words have power. The last one I'll share, which is kind of staggering. The bad news is you're falling through the air. Nothing to hang on to, no parachute. The good news is there is no ground. Chogyam Trungpa Rinpoche. He lived from March 1939 to April 1987, 38 years old. He founded Naropa University, the Shambhala training method, crazy wisdom. He was a teacher for Pema Chodron, Allen Ginsberg, John Steinbeck, Ken Wilber, Joni Mitchell, who portrayed Trungpa in the song Refuge of the Road in her 1976 album, Hejira. We'll sit for a couple more minutes quietly, and then I'll bring us out with the song. Breathing in, you can unmute yourself. Breathing in.
Breathing in.
Breathing out.
Breathing out.
Breathing in.
Breathing in.
Breathing in.
Breathing out.
Breathing out.
I am blooming.
I am blooming
As a filbert.
as a filbert.
I am fresh.
I am fresh
As the dew.
as the dew.
I am solid.
I am solid
As a mountain.
as a mountain.
I am firm.
I am firm
As the earth.
as the earth.
I am free.
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 Breathing in.
Breathing in.
Breathing out.
Breathing out.
Breathing in.
Breathing in.
Breathing out.
Breathing out.
I am water.
I am water.
Reflecting
Reflecting
what is real.
what is real.
What is true.
What is true.
And I feel
And I feel
there is space
there is space
deep within me.
deep within me.
I am free.
I am
I
free.
am free.
I am free.
I am free.
I am free.
We are free.
We are
We are
free.
We are free.
We are
We are
free.
We are free.
We are free.
All be 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 free.
Let's go to gallery view, and folks are welcome to share experience. Hi, Ruth Ann.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Doing good. Doing well, as they say. Our daughter would always correct us when we'd say doing good. We are doing good, but we're actually doing well.
Well, she
We're doing
wasn't from
both.
the South.
We're doing both. Yeah.
We also have a new person that joined us, Becca. Welcome to the group.
Hi, Becca.
Where are you hailing from?
You can unmute yourself, Becca, if you want to say hi. So mindfulness meditation, as experienced this session before, how it relates to your own life, your own experience.
I can say something if nobody wants to say.
Well, go ahead.
I don't always want to be the first one to comment.
You know, it's
but
good to
anyway.
break the ice.
Yeah, it is. The words that you pick or the poems or just the readings are so beautiful, so profound. And I don't know why in particular I may cry.
Good. I like that. Good. It touched your heart.
It touched my heart, especially when you say I'm free.
I'm free. You're free. We're free.
That is so profound. At least today, I don't know why. But
That's all we can say. Yeah.
that's all what I say. I will have to go off the camera.
Oh, good. Thank you, dear.
I really like the singing component. That's a really nice one. It's new to me, singing before going into meditation and after, and it's
Yeah, it brings you in, brings you out.
yeah, it reminds me of it reminds me of like a plant medicine ceremony. Actually, it's like really similar rhythm. Really nice.
Nice. Chris Bauman.
I woke up really tearful today.
Okay.
But feeling very like there's this huge thing that's happening, kind of. And I don't know what it is, but just feeling it. And when we were meditating, I connected with that.
Mm-hmm.
There's this huge thing that's happening. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But it's a beautiful day to do this, actually.
Good.
Yeah.
It was interesting for me. There was a visualization of a stream through my meditation, just kind of at the top of my frame with waves moving through, like I was tapping into something.
Wow. Lovely.
It's beautiful.
You are water reflecting what is real, what is true. And there's space within you. You're free.
Ram is right. That's a powerful, I don't even want to say thought, because it's more than that. It's bigger than that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Understanding, maybe.
Yeah. Experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love that mantra, and it speaks to the symbolism of the river.
Yeah.
And it's part of what brought me up here.
Yeah.
The glacial waters, just and the colors are reminiscent of forgiveness.
Yeah.
Letting go. And yeah, you're wearing a teal today, and that's
how we roll.
That's actually right into that
That's
theme.
Bauman teal. Yeah. Was your cap the same color?
I'm sorry?
What color is your cap?
It's like a moss green.
Yeah, it looks green.
But I have a blouse just like that, and I used it for my my demos representing these women crafted teas from Thailand.
Nice.
So that's interesting synchronicity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Any other reflections on mindfulness, meditation, mindful meditation, be here now?
Actually, I just want to appreciate Danusha, because during the meditation, she did pointed her phone towards the beautiful picture of the blue sky with the clouds and the trees. It was gorgeous just to see.
Multimedia.
So thank you for that, being mindful of, giving us a piece of where you are right now. That was beautiful.
Well, let's wrap it up unless there's other thoughts. We don't have to overanalyze it. It's really about being in the space, carrying the space, finding the space. Remember on our first one, it was like we meditate so we can set the energy within us to go out into the world and deal with whatever's out there. So we could carry this space, and then at 2:00 we'll resume with a very lovely solstice ritual led by Irema and Emiko and Vidu and myself and those of you who come. So please join us at 2 p.m. on the Zoom channel and enjoy this very, very powerful day and time of change of season and the deepening within ourselves.
And I promise I will not cry.
Okay.
Don't promise anything. No promises. We have to accept you as you are. Even with
Tears are beautiful.
With your tender heart. I was questioning whether to write about broken heart and mention broken heart, and then I go, no, that's part of the experience.
But it's so true. It's so true. It's so true.
I resonated deeply with that one as well. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
I thought about it. I'm curating. I can pick and choose. I can just go light and love. Have a nice day. But I decided to, cover some of that territory. So we'll see you soon. Be well, everyone.